and gentlemen, Norm Macdonald.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're very kind. You know, in the, what's that? Oh, yeah, no. No, you're absolutely right. That is my name. You know, when the people here asked me to do the show, you know, I gotta say, I felt kind of weird, you know. I don't know if you remember this, but I used to actually be on this show, you know. I used to do the weekend update news routine. You remember that? And, yeah. That's where I did the make-believe news jokes, you know. That was me, right? So then, a year and a half ago, right, I had a sort of a disagreement with the management at the NBC. I wanted to keep my job, right? And they felt the exact opposite. So you see, they fired me because they said that I wasn't funny, you know? Now with most jobs, I could have had a hell of a lawsuit on my hands for that, but see, this is a comedy show. So they got me, you know what? But now, this is the weird part, right? It's only a year and a half later, and now they asked me to host the show. So I wondered, I go, hey, wait a second here. Hey! I go, how did I go in a year and a half from being not funny enough to be even allowed in the building to being so funny that I'm now hosting the show? How did I suddenly get so damn funny? It was inexplicable to me, because a year and a half, let's face it, is not enough time for a dude to learn how to be funny. Then it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, you know, well, you'll see later. But okay, so let's recap. The bad news is, I'm still not funny. The good news is, the show blows. All right, folks, we got a bad show for you tonight. Dr. Dre, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and Eminem are here. We'll be right back.
We all had to pitch to Lorne, and then I realized early that I would pitch all like my real ideas and I wanted to impress everybody, and I would give and then this happens, and then this is the joke, and then this is, and the big twist is this. Right. So then when it got to the table for table read in front of 40 people, no one laughed because I did the sketch in the room, and then I realized a couple months in there was the art of the fake pitch, and Kevin Nealon and Norm Macdonald, it was like a contest every week to see who could come up with the fucking weirdest fake pitch that the host believed was actually happening, and the rest of the room knew. We all knew it wasn't. Lauren knew it wasn't.
That's awesome.
But I remember Kevin Nealon every week would do 2 fake pitches and go, also I have this idea where you live at the top of one of those runaway truck ramps, you know, in your house all the way up there, and it's like dinner time. A truck comes flying through your house, man. And the host would go, yeah, this is funny. I mean, but every week. And we would all just be laughing so hard. And the host is looking around yeah, that is funny, right? But we're laughing because the host is a fucking moron. And then Norm, I remember, it was Bob Newhart goes, I got this idea. People always confuse literally and figuratively. A guy will go, hey, how was that movie you just saw, you know? And I go, oh, my God. It was so funny. I literally laughed my head off. But hey, he didn't, you know, because he's got a head still. And Bob Newhart just stared at Norm like, that's the stupidest shit I ever heard. And then Norm like a dog with a chew toy, was like, I'm not leaving this room until unlock the doors like a prison movie.
He's gonna break him.
Like, yeah. And he goes,
I'm gonna break you
or you go, hey, how's your wife? Well, she literally died when she got your message. She literally dropped dead right there on the floor. She's died. She literally died. And now he's moving like closer.
Did Newhart break at a certain point?
Yeah, eventually. He just fucking won. And then that week, Norm did a sketch where he was Charles Kuralt, and he was the only. It was just Charles Kuralt alone talking to camera, and we're all like in full Charles Kuralt makeup, unrecognizable. And you're like, his fake sketches were better than anything I ever actually got on air.
He's amazing, isn't he? He's an amazing guy.
He is amazing.
Norm Macdonald story. We were filming a sketch. Now, when we first got Saturday Night Live, Norm Macdonald sat us all down, the cast, and he goes, listen, I'm the update guy, okay? Now, if I want to do a sketch, I'm like the star, and I don't want it, but I'm getting it on. Don't write any of your sketches and put me in them. Don't put me in any of your gay sketches. That's what he said. He goes, but be prepared. If I'm doing a sketch, it's getting on. All right. 2 years later, he doesn't do any sketches. He just does the update. Pamela Anderson comes on. Now, whenever a beautiful woman would come on, Chris Kattan would always write a sketch where he gets to make out with the girl. And he'd always over-flirt with her, like,
oh my God, you're so sexy, you're hot, I want to sex you up, think you're cute, I want to go on a date, you single, I want to hot, you're sexy.
Which was weird, because I always swore that he lived in the closet. Not that I care. No, I'm just saying, I always, you're like, well, you sure? You can tell me if you want, because he was very... he's very flamboyant, and he would always bring up gay in conversation, which was, to me, weird. It's like...
You're like, oh my God, I was watching football, and I don't know, it just started making me feel gay. You ever feel that way?
No. Not really. But if it makes you, all right. And I took that as a hint, because... Like a pot smoker will hang out with a group, and they'll go, and there's always one that drops the little hint to test the crowd. Like, yeah, so if we go out tonight, it'd be weird. I don't really smoke pot, but, maybe tonight if someone's got nothing. But I would never do that, because it's weird, it's drugs and stuff. But you automatically know, like, oh, okay, he's looking for, I'll talk to you when no one's around. So I didn't know if Kattan was that guy. I'm like, oh my God, because he'd say it a lot. He'd be like, oh my God, I was on an airplane. I don't know, I just felt gay. Not me, but, whatever, knock it out. So, Pamela Anderson, she's on the show. And she goes on, and we're getting ready to do a sketch. Now, when we read a sketch, we try it out on Wednesday. Wednesday, you want to read it, sell it, and try to get it to be picked up to work on for the week. Now, Norm Macdonald is playing the guy from the Twilight Zone. I don't remember his name, but the sketch is like, imagine, if you will, another place and time. Welcome to the Twilight Zone. So, but Norm, this is how he reads the sketch. He goes, hey, imagine, if you will, another place and time. Twilight Zone, yeah, pig faces. Well, they picked the sketch up, and they put me, Kattan, and Sherry O'Terry in the sketch, okay? Now, it's Saturday. The day of the show. We go on the floor, and if Kattan wasn't starring in a sketch, he'd start nitpicking at other cast members. And he started busting on Norm. He's like, oh my God, Norm, Jesus.
You don't even sound like the guy. You're not gonna get this. It's not gonna get picked up. Why are you acting that way? I mean, sound like the guy. Pamela, you're so hot. You're so sexy. Tommy Lee, I'm bigger than Tommy Lee. Me and you can hang out with suck face. God, Norm, you're awful. Sound like him.
And the whole time I'm looking at Norm like, you're not gonna do anything? I've seen you be so rude. You're not gonna say something to Catan? You're gonna let him pick on you? And he's just looking at us like, yeah. Nothing happens. Now's the dress show. On Saturday Night Live, there's a live show and there's a dress show. The dress show, they film the whole show. God forbid something happens, they have a show in the can. But also, they do a lot of sketches because you're trying to get on. Sketches are gonna get cut, and then you only see the live version. So we're working our ass off for the dress show. Packed crowd, ready to go. 1 minute for the Twilight Zone. Norm Macdonald, Chris Kattan, Jim Brewer, Sherry Terry to the floor. We get on the floor as a crowd, our mics are on. Swear to God, Kattan's going,
God, Norm, where'd you hear this guy? You sound terrible. I can do impression better. Did you work on it? Pamela, you're so hot. I'm gonna suck face and rub up against you, and me and you are gonna hang out and suck your face. You go in the party, we're gonna hump and hang out and dry hump your leg at the party.
30 seconds.
God, Norm, you're never gonna get this. God, try. Aren't you guys concerned? We're not gonna get on the air.
10 seconds.
I'm gonna bam, I'm gonna feel you and I'll rub up against your butt and hot and...
Go!
Norm Macdonald. Imagine, if you will, another place and time, and that same thing.
And I went, I can't believe this is where you want to try to knock it out. And he just let it go like that. Now, when the show's over, you walk into Lorne Michaels' room. And when you go in there, there's a billboard. And it shows you what sketches are on. And when we walk in, go ahead, I'll wait for you. When we walk in, take your time, it's over there. And when we first walk in, it says the Twilight Zone sketch. I'm like, wow, how did that make it? So here we are, live show, monologue. Pamela Anderson comes out, first sketch of the night. 1 minute for kickoff of the show. Jim Brewer, Sherry O'Terry, Chris Kattan, Will Ferrell, not Will Ferrell, Norm Macdonald, all this stuff. So we get there, live show. 1 minute to live on the air, Kattan starts.
God, Norm, you're like terrible. We got 1 minute. You're gonna sound terrible on national television. Don't you care? Oh my God, you don't even care? Don't you feel gay? God, what's wrong with you?
And I can't believe, I'm getting mad that he's trying to throw Norm off his game. He's live TV. And then,
oh my God, Pamela, you go to the party, you're hot, I'm gonna sex you up.
30 seconds.
God, Norm, where'd you hear him? It's terrible. Why don't you stay at the update desk?
20 seconds.
Pamela, you're so hot.
15 seconds. Norm had a cigarette, puts it out. 10 seconds.
Hey, Kattan. By the way, if everyone didn't know, Kattan's gay, but he doesn't tell anyone he's gay. And that's why he's this angry little bitch, and he just takes it out on everyone, and he tries to hit on Pamela Anderson, who you know would never be with you. She went Tommy Lee.
5 seconds.
So why don't you just come out of the closet and admit you're gay and you wouldn't live a lie, you little bitch?
We're on! Imagine if you will. Another place and time.